Have you watched the movie Twisters? Here's why people should or shouldn't. Welcome to Fantasy for the Ages. I'm Jim, the father of this father son show where we talk about fantasy, science fiction, horror, other nerdy things. Today, a movie review. Now, I'll admit it, I've become more patient as I've gotten older. I've also become perhaps a little cheap. I rarely go to a theater to catch a movie. In fact, I can tell you the last time precisely that I was in a movie theater. It was a little over a year ago. November 2023, my wife and I were visiting my co host and son, Zach, and his partner, Rachel. And as part of the time together, they planned for us to go see a movie. So literally, someone else had to decide I was going into a theater. The movie, I couldn't even tell you. It was not memorable. The popcorn was good, but still, it's not enough to get me into a theater. I don't choose to go there anymore. My point of mentioning all this is that new movie reviews tend to wait on my end until they come out on streaming platforms. I've invested in quality TV screens and great surround system here at my house. Also, the restroom is cleaner and there's never any lines, even for my wife. And the nachos, far less expensive. I just like to watch movies at home. I subscribe pretty much to all the major streaming services, so when something does drop and can be watched from the comfort of my own living room, that's when I'm going to watch it. Then you'll get a review. Thus, here's my review, finally, of Twisters, the sequel with a massive gap that nobody was really clamoring for, but people sure didn't mind the movie either. The original film, Twister, was a charmer, one of those gems I actually physically purchased. It's still sitting up in my DVD collection. Released in 1996, it starred some major heavy hitters of film and television from that decade. People who often brought a smile to your face anytime you saw them on a screen of whatever size. People like Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, Carrie Elwes, and the taken far too soon, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Of a budget of $92 million, the film earned a box office take that was 5 times that. A major financial success, finishing second in 1996 only to Independence Day. Not only did it have a terrific script and an entertaining cast, it set a new bar for the use of CGI in disaster scenarios. Now, that's a hard act to follow, and could be partly why it took 28 years until someone was brave enough to attempt to produce a sequel to Twister. Twisters released in July 2024, just 5 months ago. How does it compare to the original? Well, in direct comparison, it does fall a little short, in that it fails to match up in a number of significant ways. The cast, while respectable, well performing, they lack the pizzazz and star power of the people in the first film. Financially successful, it merely earned a little more than double its budget. I mean, that's still a lot of money, but it's no 5 times. In addition to being, though, a decent financial win, it did receive generally positive reviews, and script-wise, it's considered a worthy sequel. The special effects, those aren't bad at all. So let's get into the movie specifically. I've got a spoiler-light review for you. If you haven't seen the movie yet, you're still safe here. Twisters has very little to do specifically with the original, other than paying some nice homage moments and then following a number of similar beats. Our lead character, Kate, has tragedy in her past related to storm chasing and trying to scientifically achieve something related to tornadoes. Sound familiar? Due to that tragedy in her past, she's gotten out of the storm chasing game, but gets sucked back in on the invitation of a past colleague and close friend, someone also related to the past tragedy. From there, we get the standard storm chasing, trying to achieve a scientific goal involving a tornado, while also dealing with some social media viral video hounds who are also chasing the same storms. The film blends thrilling tornado sequences with emotional depth, striking a satisfying balance between high charging action and character driven drama. A winning formula for the original film, and it works for this one too. My takeaway thoughts here about the film. First off, the movie has nary a dull moment. In this particular manner, I think the film is more a product of our current days. The original film has some slower character development moments that today's audiences don't typically want to see, lack the patience for in an action disaster film. That's not what they came for, so studios don't give that to them anymore. This film strikes a much more brisk pace and keeps us engaged from start to finish. Also, second point, the tornado and storm effects, very, very cool. I'll also point out that though I didn't know these cast members as well as the ones in the original film when I watched it, I thought the cast still delivered a strong performance. Great casting choices, they blend together well as a beautiful ensemble performance. I would say when it comes to realism, this movie's far more realistic. When people got done watching Twister and walking out of the theaters, yeah, I actually went to theaters back then. There was a lot of, nah, I don't think that could have happened. This movie, you have a different feeling. This could happen. So, nice update in that regard. My final thought on the film is that it won't linger, unfortunately. Twister remains an iconic and groundbreaking film that people still today remember quite fondly. Twisters doesn't do anything so groundbreaking. And while it was a successful film, it served its purpose as entertainment. It will not be long remembered. It came, it sucked. No. Tornadoes, lots of tornadoes sucking up cars, people, livestock. So that's a good thing. But then it went away, and that's what the movie's going to do. We're just not going to be talking about Twisters for decades like the original. So, my recommendation? Well, if you like a good action film, you love a disaster movie, you shouldn't miss Twisters. It is well written, well directed, well acted, and the special effects are all you would hope for from a movie like this. There's also just enough humor intermixed in to keep the film from being too heavy at any point. This is sheer high-quality entertainment. You probably will never need to see it again. It's not a second-time type of movie, but the first viewing, I strongly recommend, for sure. Okay, that's where I'll leave you today. What are your thoughts on Twisters? Put them down in the comment box. Agree with me? Disagree with some of my takes? I'd love to hear it. While you're thinking about that, give us a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Hit that notification bell. You'll see when we put out more content. We have something new almost every day. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.